Hey guys, how's it going? Um, Today's video is going to be focused on creating that vision for yourself because I think when you create a vision, like creating the vision is like the most important part when it comes to reaching a goal, whether it be business, career, sports, relationship. Creating a vision is kind of what's going to be that north star to guide you to where you want to be. Um, you can't go somewhere if you don't know where you want to go, essentially. But once you do have that vision and you've impressed your subconscious, which we'll get into a little bit later, things start to unfold around you and the path becomes clear because, like I said, it's going to be that north star that's going to lead you there. What a lot of people don't do is they don't have a full vision of what they want, or what they think they want is it actually what they want. So they don't get that. They don't get um the north star in the direction of where they're going. So let me begin by saying this, right? It's hard to focus and lock in and be determined to do something that your emotions and your heart isn't really in. As a human being, a lot of the times you need to have like some sort of deeper or emotional reason for doing something to really decide to go all in and get it done. Um, and when you're able to create or see exactly what it is that you want, when you actually know what it is that you want, um, it's almost like a magic trait that your mind is able to actually cure up a plan with you to help you get there. One of the best practices that I've done, especially when reaching my goals, is writing stuff down. Like I have notebooks, I have all these papers, and I have notebooks filled with like notes and plans. And what I do usually, right, is I create like the big vision in a big circle, and then like I create little circles attached to it with the steps needed to make that big vision happen. It's a super easy way to organize and like just create that mental map, and it really helps. It really helps because what it does is it turns everything into little segments that you can just take care of one at a time and eventually reach that goal. And the cool part is it stacks on top of each other. So just the same way that it looks like a that you can, you can create it, you can make it a linear timeline if you really wanted to. But in the same sense that like you already have the goal and you have the steps necessary to make it happen, as you start completing each step, the goal becomes more and more clear and it becomes more and more real to you, which in return makes your mindset, your personality, who you are, your surroundings more and more in tune with that goal. So it kind of works both ways. It's a very interesting thing. Um, some people fail with it because they don't realize that like what they're looking for isn't really sometimes what they want. So it's hard to really follow through with that goal. But it doesn't take much to just, meditate, sit there and really think to yourself and ask yourself the same question, like what is it that you really want to do? And for some people, some people are guided, some people are guided. So like what happens is they receive what they want to do. Like they it gets transmuted into them. They get impressed by something. And then there's other people who just decide, this is what I want. There's no real reason. I don't even know if I fully want it, but this is what I want, so I'm gonna work for it. And that charges up their emotions. And there's two different types of people. You could be either one. But regardless, being able to see the vision and start following through with it is gonna get both of them there. Um, I would consider myself somebody who just makes a decision whether I know if I fully want it or not. And to be honest, when I do that, for me, I do it because to me it makes me feel a little bit more like I'm in control of my own world, right? If I'm able to just get up and decide this is what I want and I'm gonna create a goal towards it and then work towards it, I just feel like, me personally, it makes my life more interesting because sometimes I don't really like to like be guided by little signs or whatever. Sometimes I think that stuff can disappoint me personally. Like I said, there's two different types of people, and none of them are good or bad. Everybody's just different and unique. Um, One thing that I would highly recommend though, when you are creating a goal, is to not overbook yourself when it comes to like the planning and thinking about how you're gonna get there. The last thing you want to do is like overstimulate yourself with sorry guys, I'm so sorry. Just got these messages and stuff. The last thing you want to do though is overstimulate yourself with instructions and steps on how to get there. Because if you do that, it's just gonna, um it's just gonna do the opposite of what you want it to do. It's gonna make you feel like, oh man, like this is way too much, and then it kills the vision. What I suggest is, you create a you picture your big plan, your vision, and three large steps behind it. That's it. Each large step is gonna have a lot of little details that need to get fixed, a lot of little this, a lot of that. That doesn't matter for now. Right now, you can only focus on the big vision and the three main steps to get there. Boom. Start taking care of them one at a time. That's when you get into the nitty gritty on your day to day basis. But when it comes to like creating the vision, you can't overcomplicate it. I just highly recommend you don't, because it's gonna kill the vision. Nobody likes to be oversaturated by work. Nobody likes to be oversaturated by steps, by instructions. Nobody likes that, right? So why would you do that to yourself? Just make sure you keep it simple. Make sure you keep it light, and before you know it'll start coming into fruition. You know, because the next part is just to live your day step by step, following through with the vision. And when you do that, you know, and you just take it easy on yourself, you can create the vision with little to no resistance. You can just make it happen. And since you have the vision, since everything is already set in place, you already know what you want, things just start to align. Like, coincidences start to happen. And let's say you mix this in with some decent amount of discipline, you're set. You're set. Why? Because that discipline is going to create that discipline type of luck that we talk about in other videos, where like just the fact that you're showing up and doing your stuff every day, the opportunities will almost come to you and be like, and problems will fix themselves, or situations will, solve themselves. And the steps will just start to build for themselves. You know what I mean? It's a really cool concept, and it's super helpful. It's super helpful. And this message can be for anybody, but to be honest, I feel like this message most strongly is for people who, you could be grinding, you could be having your thing going, your business, your anything, you know, but every once in a while we all need a change. And sometimes it's hard to know what that change is, or what it is that we want. But we just know that we don't want to be exactly where we are anymore, right? We all grow out of our phases, because we evolve. We're humans. Um, and sometimes that vision can be an escape, it could be a step forward. Who knows what it could be? But the point is, change is good, and sometimes it's just hard to create that change. So if you just follow these steps, you create your vision, you write it down, you create your circles, three main steps to get there, and then start taking care of them one at a time. It's yours. It's gonna happen. As far as timing goes and setting up a date and setting up that, it's really good to be realistic. It'll help you a lot to be realistic. But even if you're more on the idealistic side of it, you could make it happen. It just depends on you and what type of person you are, and how much I want to say stress you can handle mentally. Um that all can either help you or make it a little bit more, make you want to take it a little bit more easy. But regardless, like, just know yourself, get that vision, make that timeline, take it one by one every day. You got it. It's yours. Um, but yeah, my Instagram is Emmanuel.lvx. That's Emmanuel with two M's.lvx. For anybody who wants to talk, I do one-on-ones. You need advice, anything. And there's more details about me in the description. So yeah, if you guys like these videos, stay posted and subscribe. See you guys.